everybody, and welcome to the first session of Virtual Quilt Club for 2023-2024. My name is Cynthia. I'm the owner of Country Concessions, and I'm thrilled today to introduce you to our newest employee team, and you'll read about this in our September newsletter. We have Jennifer Ritchie, who has just started working for us, and Arthur, who is part of the Jen and Arthur team. So
yes.
Jen has been training guide dogs for how long?
This is my second dog. Yes.
So our table just moved a little bit there. It's not supposed to move. So Arthur's just started working with Jen a couple of weeks ago?
No, I've had Arthur since he was 12 weeks, and so now he is.
I'm putting on the brakes here.
18 weeks old.
Yeah, so he is growing like a bad weed.
He is.
We saw a picture today of when he was a baby, and it was super cute. Anyway, Jen trains with Arthur like 24/7 pretty much.
Yep.
So when she comes to work, Arthur's going to be coming along, and he's been such a good boy so far, and we're so excited to be part of Arthur's training and growing into a guide dog for some lucky person in the future.
Yes. He's a Lions Foundation dog, so I'll have him for about a year and a half. So if you come into the store and you see me, let me know you want to see him, and I'll bring him out for you.
Yeah, right now he sleeps quite a bit.
He does. He's a pup, so he sleeps a lot.
Yes, so I guess that'll change as he grows.
Yes.
But he's such a good boy.
Yes.
Anyway, and I'd say we're so excited to be part of it, and we extend a huge welcome to Jen and Arthur.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're going to send Arthur back to his teepee spot, or maybe he gets a little bit of time.
Yes.
And we'll move on with our Quilt Club presentation.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you,
and
Cynthia.
Hope you all like meeting him. So.
Bye.
Okay, so I am just going to show you the quilts in the background. I'm going to move our table here for a second. So bear with me. There we go. So in the background we have our two Quilt Club quilts. And you by now have probably decided if you want to make one of these or if you're making your own. You should all have got your introductory package by email. If anybody is missing it, I didn't have any bounce back, so hopefully everybody got it. But if anybody is missing it, please let me know, and we will get that sent out to you right away. And you'll get full information. You'll get a card for making a swatch sheet. You will get the fabric requirements for both of these quilts, or just the blocks if you're choosing to make just the blocks. You'll get the general information about making the blocks, which just has some hints and tips in there. You'll get a calendar, which tells you which week of the month we're going to be doing Quilt Club. I'm trying to remember what else was in there, but anyway, full information. So let me know if you still need it. And if you have anybody that you know who wants to join Quilt Club and now they're thinking, oh, it's too late, it's not too late. You can join us, especially doing it virtually. You can join us pretty much any time. You will, of course, miss blocks that have happened previously, but if you join up, say in November, we started in September, then we'll get those missing blocks sent out to you. There's no penalties in the virtual Quilt Club. There's none in in-person Quilt Club either. We're trying to make it more user-friendly this year. So if you like to join a little bit later, there's no problem. The only caveat is that when you sign up, we do send you a coupon code to allow you to buy your Quilt Club fabric at 25% off. Online or in person, and that does expire October 31st. So you would have to be able to get your fabric chosen by October 31st to take advantage of that 25% off coupon. Now I'm just going to move the table back in and bring my laptop into the screen because I'm going to show you where you can go to find information about Quilt Club, and I hope you can see this all right. Just load it in there. So I'll bring it as close as I possibly can. So when you go to the home page of our store website, and I know this is really small, you'll see a drop down at the top here that says Quilt Club. When I click on that, it brings up About Quilt Club, 2023-24 registration, and then block number 1 for September 23rd, 2023. And now it says my network is interrupted. Wouldn't you know, eh? So we'll go to Quilt Club, About Quilt Club, when I click on that, hope this isn't going to be too ornery. The internet is not the best in the classroom. When you go to About Quilt Club, you'll get a drop down that will let you select the About Quilt Club video. And that has full information about the program. So if you or somebody else you know, it's not letting me reach the site. So I'm just going to tell you verbally how this works. So you go to About Quilt Club and it lets you select the Quilt Club video, and that gives you all the information you need about registering. You'll also see a place on there to go to September 2023, Block 1. And when you go to that tab, you will have 2 videos to choose from. One is the one I'm recording right now, the presentation of the video, and the other one is a how-to video. And Jen has very generously agreed to help me with those how-to videos, and she's a splendid teacher, so she works her way through the block and shows you how to do the construction for the block. And we'll have a how-to video with each month's block, and we'll have the presentation video. So I'm just going to grab this month's block and show that to you. Okay. So I'm not going to go over the how-to because that is what Jen's all about. There is this month's block. And this is the one Jen made during the how-to video, and she explains how to put it all together. It's probably not totally obvious, but this month's block is created with 1 unit only. So have a look at that center unit. There it is right there. Okay, so it is a square in a square. She's made a single block, so I can show you that. There's the unit that is making up this square. So when I put it in the center, it's a square and a square, and you'll see each of the blocks in the video, each of the units in the whole block, they're exactly the same. They're a square and a square. So the corner one's made up with 2 lights and the medium in the center. The middle one is a light with the medium in the center, and then these other ones at the side here, they're made with the accent color, the pink, and then your dark fabric at the outside. So when you put it all together, you get this fabulous star, but it was simply made with this 1 unit. So it's a really awesome block and a very, very nice way to start. It's a very simple block to put together, so you shouldn't have any trouble at all. And I'm just going to turn the camera around here to face our presentation materials, and then we'll continue from there. So when you, in your email, you're going to be sent the instructions for that block. So it's very easy to put together. Jen will show you how to put it together using the directions from Upper Canada Quilt Works, which are great and work really well. I'm one of those quilters who loves to use rulers, which allow me to make my units a little bit oversized and then trim them down. Because I'm not perfect, and few of us are, I like a ruler that lets me make that oversized and trimmed down, because then I know I'm going to get absolutely accurate results for each and every unit that I make to put together to build my blocks. And then no errors are sort of compounded, and you have a much more accurate block in the end. So what Jen is showing you when she does her how-to video is the square on square 8-inch trim tool, which is a Creative Grids ruler. It's an awesome ruler. It comes with a full set of instructions, and this lets you make those square on square units for your block, trim them down to get 100% accuracy, and then when you put together your block, you're going to get that perfect 12.5-inch unfinished block and ready to put in your finished project. So this is entirely optional. You don't need it to make your blocks. You will use it in 3 of the blocks during the course of the program, and there's all sorts of other patterns that use the square on square trim tool. Tons of patterns using a square on square block. So it's certainly a very useful ruler. We do offer you 20% off on everything we talk about, including this ruler, even though it's only used in the how-to demo. So it's regular $47.99. So with 20% off that, it's not too bad, and you will have other opportunities to use this both in the Quilt Club project and in other projects. So that's all about the how-to. And you will have the email shortly with the September block instructions in it. If you have any concerns or problems, we are setting up a Facebook group. I've got the group set up, but I haven't managed to send out the invites yet. By the time you see this video, hopefully you'll have got the invite. So we invite you to join our Facebook group, and our Facebook is Country Concessions Cookstown. And like I say, the invite is only going out to Quilt Club members, in-person and virtual members, so you can post any questions on there. We hope you'll do lots of show and tell, because we want to see how you're getting along, and anything else you want to share with us. It's a group for our members to interact with one another and with us at the store here. So we hope you'll join that. So watch for your invite for that coming very soon. Now to the presentation. So I've got a number of things I'm going to go over with you today. We try to keep it reasonably short and sweet. Some months will be longer than others, but I don't have a ton of stuff today because we knew we had our initial preamble to go through. So the first thing I want to share with you is this fabulous table runner. I absolutely love this. Have I got it upside down? Yes, I do. No, I don't. This is called the Last Minute Table Runner. And I'm going to come close to the camera so you can see it's got beautifully finished mitered corners on it. And we are featuring a number of different fabrics. We've got it done, we call this cherry, but it's actually more, it's a nice rust kind of color with this gorgeous fall pumpkin print in the center. And then we've prepared a number of different kits. The Last Minute Table Runner is a fabulous project for when you need a quick decorative accessory. If everybody's coming for dinner for Thanksgiving and you have nothing to put on the table. I made this last night in less than an hour, absolutely less than an hour. It's probably closer to half an hour. And I am not the speediest. So some of you can probably make it in a half hour or less. It really is a last minute table runner. There is no batting in this table runner. You could choose to add it if you wanted to, but it doesn't have any. It's just a decorative piece for your table. So this makes a great hostess gift or a present for friends, quilting friends, or anybody, your mother-in-law. It's a great gift because it's so quick and easy to make, and it doesn't take a huge amount of fabric. So I'm going to show you basically how you put that together. This is a pattern from Karen Montgomery. She has a company called The Quilt Company, and she has a lot of different designs, but a very, very clever designer. She's been around for a long time. So clear and simple instructions on how to put this together. So basically you need to get 2 strips of fabric. You have your background fabric that you cut in an 18-inch strip, salvage to salvage. And then you have a focal fabric. You cut a 12-inch strip, salvage to salvage. So only one is a half a meter, one is a third of a meter. You're going to sew those together with leaving a 3-inch end on the background fabric. So what you need to do is trim off the salvages and give them a good press. And then you're going to trim the narrower piece to be 6 inches less in length than your background fabric. When you sew the two together, you're going to put your center this, and you're going to sew the edges together, but leaving 3 inches at the top of the background piece. So you're going to have 3 inches at each end. Sew that together on the one side, and then you're going to shift it across and sew it together on the other side. So you've got a tube that you're making with these 2 fabrics, but they're uneven. When you turn the fabric, you're going to end up with the 3 inches at the top, but you've pressed it evenly, so you've got basically 1.5 inches on each side, and that forms your border. And then you've got this flap up at the top. And you do the same thing on both ends. So you've got very, very simple. And then you're going to use Karen's directions to tell you how to fold the top and bottom of the table runner to form those perfect mitered corners. And then you just do some simple top stitching to hold everything in place, and you are done. So you can see why it only takes that 20 minutes or half an hour to make the table runner. So it's a really fantastic project to have on hand to make anytime you need a quick decoration or a quick gift. So the patterns are really, really inexpensive. They're $3.99 less your 20%. So that's a very, very nice price. And we've made up a number of different kits. So the one I showed you, the one that's made in my my table runner, is called Cherry Table Runner Kit. And it's $21.99 less your 20%. It's got all the fabrics you're going to need for the whole project. And we've done a number of different sort of color combinations. So this one has a really pretty, it's almost a pumpkin kind of color as the accent, the border fabric, and then the pumpkins in the center. We have pure black, which is actually really striking against the pumpkin fabric because it does have black in the background. It just pops that. So that's really, really nice. And then the last one we put together is green. We just did a lovely strong green. And again, it just picks up all the greens in the fabric. So that is also a very nice option. We don't have a huge number of these kits. If you would like to buy them online, if you go to Quilt Club, the drop down I told you about, you will find all the product for Quilt Club that is for sale at your 20% off. It's on that page. So if you go to the home page, go to the Quilt Club drop down, you will find the products from, and under September 2023, you'll find all the products for this month that I'm talking about that are at the 20% off. Unfortunately, these kits, when they're gone, they're gone. So if you do see on there, they're sold out. We are out of that beautiful fall fabric, so we can't make any more. We do have lots and lots of other beautiful fall fabrics in the store that you would be able to use in this project. Okay, so that is the last minute table runner and the different kits for that. Now, the next thing I have to share with you, we decided this month that we wanted to feature the scissors from a lady by the name of Karen K. Buckley. And Karen K. Buckley has a lot of products for applique, and she has wonderful, wonderful scissors that I'm going to be talking about, and then some ruler products as well. She has recently sold her business to another company called Checker Distributors, and they are keeping all of her products in stock, and we've carried these in our store for probably about 10 years. So the thing that really sort of turned me on to Karen K. Buckley products was these, they're called Perfect Scissors. All her products are called Perfect, and they really are. So Karen K. Buckley Perfect Scissors, this is the smallest size, and honestly, these are the best scissors I think I have ever had. You will love them. I'm just going to get them out of the package here. So what is unique about these scissors, and I'm sorry I'm cutting off my head, but I want to be able to show you the scissors up close. So they have a really nice molded handle, and the handle is large. You can get your fingers in there very easily. They've got a lovely motion, a nice feel, but it's a nice soft grip on your hands. And they can be used either left or right-handed because there is no shape to the grip that means you have to use them one or the other. They come with this little top that slides on, and it just snaps in position. So that protects your blades when they're in your bag, so they're not going to get damaged. It also protects you when you're reaching into your bag to get those scissors, because as you can see, they have a very sharp point. The scissors are made of stainless steel. It's quality forged steel, and they slide together beautifully. What is unique about these scissors is they have a micro serration on the blades. So a micro serration is just a very, very fine zigzag edge. So it's almost like a pinking shear, but it is so fine that you could never call it a pinking shear. It's basically a straight blade, but it just has a little bit of a serration along the edge. How this helps is when you go to cut into a piece of fabric, a smooth blade naturally pushes the fabric away from the scissor blade. So as you're closing the scissor blade, it's pushing the fabric out of the blade. The micro serration grips your fabric and it actually holds the fabric in place and pulls it into the blade as you close the blade to cut the fabric. So that allows you to make a cut right to the tip of the blade. The fabric is not pushing out of the blade. So you can cut right to a perfect point. So when you're cutting out intricate shapes or nipping into the edges of blocks, when you're clipping seams, anything like that, you can be sure that you can make an absolutely accurate cut because of the micro serration on the blade. I got a pair of these when we first brought them into the store, which has got to be 10 plus years ago, and they're still going strong. They're absolutely wonderful. My daughter stole mine, so I had to actually get another pair. But these are great scissors. It's something you're going to have for life, and you're going to love them. They are the best scissors, and take care of them and they'll last a lifetime. There are various sizes in the micro serrated ones. And they are labeled micro serration, Karen K. Buckley, perfect scissors. The smallest size is $42.99, less your 20%. It comes in a medium size. These are great. If you come into the store, they're nice because you can even try the action with it still in the package, but it also comes with the top on it as well, and they're $59.99. And the large size is, you can see how big that is in my hand. They're a great scissor for lots of purposes. They're $64.99. They also have the micro serration on them. So they are a little bit of an investment piece, but I cannot speak too highly about them. They are the best scissors I have ever had. They are absolutely wonderful, and we sell just a ton of them. They're very, very popular. There's also another little scissor that is micro serrated, and these are great for a number of purposes. These have a curved blade, and that is very useful when you are working on an embroidery or anything like that. I'm just going to take this out of the package so you can see that curve, if I can get it out. There we go. So you can perhaps see that they just have a little upward curve on the end. And that is really, really useful. When you're trimming embroidery threads, you're getting in under the hoop, or on top of the hoop, but under your needle, or free motion, anything where you're trying to get in around the needle area to snip threads. So they're also a very, very useful tool. And they're called curved perfect scissors, and they are $46.99. Okay, so that is the family of micro serrated scissors. Now, Karen K. Buckley has also just come out with a set of multi-purpose scissors. And there are 3 different sizes in the multi-purpose scissors. The difference between these and the micro serrated is these have a flat edge blade. It's not a serrated blade, so it is more purpose. You can absolutely use it for cutting fabric, but if you have the micro serrated, you will probably prefer those for your fabric. These are a great multi-purpose scissor for cutting out templates, for cutting when you're doing English paper piecing, anything where you're cutting other things other than fabric. You can also use these for your fabric, but they don't have that same sort of grip that the micro serrated ones have. So also have the nice comfortable handles with the large openings, easy to hold. They have the protective cap for putting over the end. They also come to a very, very nice sharp point. So it's great for any precision and detail cutting, and you will be able to cut right to the point. They're sharp right to the point. So that is the smallest size. They are also $42.99, the same as the micro serrated. The medium size of the flat blade ones are $52.99, and the large size, which are lovely pink ones, these are cool, are $64.99. So the pricing is the same as the micro serrated ones. They just are for different purposes. So very, very useful. Okay, now I'm going to woggle you around just a little bit here and move the camera down towards this end of the area where I've got my last two things I'm going to show you. There we go. So what I have is two different types of cleaning tools. When you are quilting, all the time you're quilting, you're cutting, you're running things through your sewing machine, you're trimming, you're creating all sorts of lint and dust that gets on your equipment. So most of you will have a self-healing mat, a rotary cutter, and a ruler. When you're cutting fabric on your cutting mat, you're cutting into the surface, and those mats are designed to be self-healing. However, when you're cutting fabric, you're also cutting little fibers of cotton, little bits of thread, all sorts of things like that that get embedded in your mat. So your rotary cutter goes across your mat, it creates a groove, and all those little fibers that you're cutting through can get stuck in that groove, particularly when you're cutting over and over again, particularly when you're cutting repeatedly in the same spot, and we find that all the time at the store. So your mat is something that you need to clean to get those fibers off the mat and out of the grooves to allow the mat to heal. The self-healing mat, it literally flows back together again. I'm not sure the chemistry or the science, but when fibers get stuck in that groove, the groove can't close. So you end up having damage to your cutting mat that is sort of self-perpetuating. So there are a number of different mat cleaners. This is one from Gypsy Quilter. It's a mat cleaning pad that they've developed, and it is made of silicone rubber. It's in a lovely little heart shape. One side is smooth, and the other side has lots of different ridges on it in different patterns. There's a little pocket at the end there for you to put your fingers into, so that it's very easy to hold. So the way you're going to put this, you're going to put this on your hand with it facing down, and you can rub this over your cutting mat along those areas that have the fibers embedded in the mat, and it will gather them together in the silicone. Silicone's naturally sort of grippy. It's not sticky, but it grips things and it pulls them out. So this will grip the fibers and allow you to sweep those fibers up, and you'll see that the mat, the cleaning pad, is covered in all these little fibers from your cutting mat. It works exceptionally well. Silicone's also super easy to wash, so you can just take this to your kitchen tap or in a basin of water and just wash all those little bits and pieces of thread and fabric fiber off your cleaning pad, so you can use this over and over and over and over and over. But that will keep your cutting mat in good shape and allow it to heal properly in the way that it was intended. So this is a great little investment that you can have in your sewing room and extend the life of your cutting mat. So these are $15.99, which less your 20% is really not bad, and you'll be able to use that over and over and over. Now the next thing is brand new. I have used this, but not a ton yet. This is a new product, again from Gypsy Quilter, and this is a cleaning tool for your wool pressing mat. Wool pressing mats are new-ish to the quilting world. They are a fabulous pressing aid. They're wonderful, wonderful. We've got a number of different sizes. They're on our website. And you want to keep them in good shape as well. So a wool pressing mat, this is just a little one. This is a 9x9. The texture is rough in the way that wool is. So when you're using this to press units for building your blocks or anything, you get a beautiful press on your blocks. But eventually you do leave behind lint, fibers, threads, all cling to your mat, and it being the nature of wool, they almost work their way into the wool surface. So you eventually have a bit of a buildup of threads, fibers, lint, other junk on the top of your wool pressing mat. So you want to clean it. This tool, when we take it out of the package, it's got a vinyl coated handle, so it's really easy to hold on to. It's very easy to grip. It looks almost like a cheese slicer or something like that. It's made of stainless steel, and then the blade has two, they say cutting surfaces. It's almost just, it's got a little ridge on it that is rough metal. So when you pull it across the wool pressing mat, that little ridge catches the fibers and threads and everything that's built up on the pressing mat. So when I drag this across, it's picking up all those little bits, and you can use both sides. Now, I forgot my dirty wool mat at home because I wanted to clean it up to show it off to you, and I forgot it at home. So I have a clean wool mat here, so it's not picking up anything, but it is incredible the amount of stuff that this will pick up. It's great for pet hair. It's great for threads, fibers, lint, anything like that. It picks up a ton. So this is also really useful for cleaning other fabric upholstered surfaces in your home for threads, fibers, lint, pet hair. Pet hair is a capital one with me. It does an incredible job on the seat cushions I have on my dining room chair, because the cat fur sticks to those too. But you just drag this across the surface, and it has a very satisfying little grip, and it gathers together all that lint and everything together. So it works incredibly well. It's a great tool for both the quilting purposes and for other household purposes. And the wool mat cleaning tool is $14.99 less your 20%. So you will find all these products, as I mentioned, if you go to September 2023 drop down under the Quilt Club header on our homepage. You will find all the products that I've talked about here, all at the 20% off. And I think that's everything I have to share with you this month. Remember to accept the invitation for our Facebook group and join in the conversation there. And please share images of the blogs that you're going to be working on. We hope everybody has lots of fun. Check out the how-to demo, and if you still have any questions, don't hesitate to email us, phone the store, get in touch, because we want your quilt club experience to be a really happy one, and you have a wonderful time and build a wonderful quilt for your end result. So I will see you all next month, and I hope you've enjoyed today's presentation. Thanks so much.